Okay. So I'll give you rules left-handed, because that's the way the table will spin out, and that's the way we're going to start. So put your right hand, your arm resting right, just reversing. Put your right hand on the peg, your left elbow's down. If you're wearing a watch or ring on the arm of the charmer, so you want to take them off. If you're like me and your wedding ring is embedded into your flesh and will not come off, then that is fine. But if it will come off, please take it off. First, for this purposes, go ahead and take it off. Watch has to come off. Okay. So now you grip each other's thumbs. The grip here in the center. I need to see both thumbs up. That's not an option to wave. It's not an option to say we're both okay. I need to see both thumb knuckles there in the center. All right. So you have a legal grip. I'm going to square both shoulders to the table. I'll make sure the hands are left and right, forward and back in the center of the table. Now you can put your elbow wherever you want, but there's consequences to that, right? And the referee may make you move your elbow back to get center of the table and to show thumb knuckles. Left and right, totally up to you. We may move your elbow forward and back to get center. Once we have a center position, the cadence is ready to go. Any movement at the R of ready to the G of go, those are false starts. They're warnings. We need a referee's grip everything that's foul. But for this case, that's a warning. Warnings add up. 2 warnings equal foul, 2 fouls, you lose the match. And this is double elimination tournament. We can win the tournament with a loss. So you're not out, but try not to do that. All right, so I give the legal start, ready, go. You win in our sport by touching your opponent with the touch pad. The pinion service is wrist to fingertips. Any part of that touches that touch pad, you win, or lose in this case. There's also something called a parallel pin. And that's where you take your opponent's pinning, either from wrist to fingertips, any part of that below the level of the touch pad. On the winning side, and your winning side and losing side. So from this elbow pad over, that's Rick's winning side. And from this corner over here, that's Cody's winning side. Okay? You can only win on the or lose on the wrong side. So if you guys drop straight down in the center, it doesn't matter who's on top. You have to be on the winning side to win or lose. Okay? There's a neutral zone there. If you guys drop straight down, there's no call for us other than we're probably looking to make sure you didn't come out on the back side of the pad. But you have to win on the windward side of the table. All right. You have to have a hold of these pegs, okay? So if you let go of that peg and re-grip it again, that's a warning. If you let go of the peg and you gain position or your hand is off for 2 seconds or more, those are fouls. We keep talking about fouls. Any foul when you are in a losing position, which is defined by peg high and below, 6 inches up. Any foul when you are peg high or below, you lose the match. Okay? If you foul above that, then it's just a foul. So there's a losing side, a losing position. 2 different terms, two different things. So you have a losing side and a losing position. Okay? All right. You have to keep your elbows on those pads. You lift your elbow, you pop it up. We see daylight. There's no such thing as a micro foul. Like all the practice, either it happened or it didn't happen. So if we see daylight under there, that's a foul. It's not a red. It's a color. Right and left. Keep your elbow there. And these particular combat games, there's another figures out and go around. Put it forward on. Sink down into those pads. If you put your elbow right on the top, it ain't pretty much to lift that elbow up. So put some weight on it, sink into these elbow pads. That is the nice thing about a combat table. Alright. Off of the edge is the tip of the guy. If your tip of your elbow, not the whole elbow joint, just the tip. If it comes off the back, off the side, off the front, those are fouls also. And since we're talking about that, let's talk about king's move or queen's move or Cody can do this. He's got better knees. Right? So if Cody's on the winning side, okay, he can drop down like that. That is a legal position. But as soon as the hands come dead center, that's no longer a legal position. The referee will give him a command to come up. If he comes up and his bicep level, then he's golden. But if he doesn't, within the 2 seconds, then he gets a foul. So let's say he came up, right? And then he drops right back down. Stop the match, you get foul. We have one correction per second. We're not going to let you yo-yo back and forth. Correction, go down, correction, go down. You get one adjustment per second. So now he's got a foul. Hopefully it's got a second foul. And we reset up to now have one more correction. So dead center or losing side, you cannot be below the table like that. And it's your bicep you're looking at. You have a decline to that bicep bone. That's the call. That's what we're looking for. Okay? Alright. There's an imaginary center line on the table. You cannot take your shoulder past the center of the table. Okay? And that's like an elbow foul. If it happens or didn't happen. So as soon as your shoulder goes past center, we just stop the match and give you a foul. You have to stay on your side of the table. You can put your feet anywhere you want up here, but if you put your foot on the total side of the table, that's as long as he doesn't object before they go. Your Rick says, no, I don't want that foot on my side. You're going to put it down, keep it down, keep it on your side of the table. If you put it back on after you get told to put it down, we just always stop the match. Alright? Remember, you put your foot on the other side. If your opponent steps into that foot, that may be an issue for you, but it's nothing for us, okay? So if you put your foot over there, you're risking having it step into it. On the other hand, you can't just hold your foot back and kick it off, right? That's no sports, but you can't just kick it off. When you step into it, because you want to use that space, but you can't kick it off, okay? All right. So kick that. We got slip, rapid frame, so let's talk about splits. Splits are going to occur. Both guys will be straight back and then come apart. This one is back to be dead end over the splits. Alright? Technical splits, there's 3 of you. The first one is opening your hand prior to your splits. So just keep one of you doing, not both of you. Rick, put your hands straight out. There we go. Your hands straight out and re-grip it, whatever. If you slip all of hands are all of yours, that's your body. Alright? Next one. Close your hand, Rick. No. Take a regular drag. See how Cody made a fist over here? Alright? You can't just close all your fingers, give your opponent your thumb and say, hang on to that. That's all. You gotta keep at least one finger. If you close all 4 of your fists and you split, that's your thumb. And the last one is a band in the middle. Maybe take a couple forms. It could be a twist, where you just twisting out of your grip, or you driving your hand straight down into your face. Alright? So those are the ones that are real foul and potential slip. Yeah, referee's group. You have 30 seconds to get a grip. At the end of 30 seconds, we're going to give you a referee's grip. And now it's our grip. So your hands on the peg, open up the flat palms. I'll put your palms together. I'll put your thumbs down. Once I have that position, then I'll square the shoulders. Make sure that they're square. I'll make sure you're in the center. I'm making the elbow back a little bit. I'll come back to the hands. You can be on top of your thumb or below your thumb. Those are your options. I'll close one hand, and then I'll close the second hand, and it's still ready to go. After you get the double command, like your shoulders, your elbows, and you then move it, we just follow you. We're done playing around now, right? Once I close my hands, if you false start, those are fouls also. So try not to get in the referee's grip if you do set up. And here's your clue for all you guys. When you're closing your hand, tighten your wrist. So when I close your hand, you just close your fingers. And if you have a loose wrist, can I close your hand and you roll your wrist and reach around? at the top. This has to stay square. So kind of tighten up a little bit, stiff it up so when we close your hand, we're just closing your hand. Because if you reach around, it's going to really hot. All right, dangerous position. If you've been arm wrestling 2 years or less, it'll come out to you. If you've been arm wrestling 5 years or less, and you use 1 or 2 turns a year, not allowing you to do all. Keep your shoulders square to the table. Okay? Don't turn away like Cody over there. This on the right. Okay? Because his arm doesn't go back on you. All it does it just once. And that's how it is. Right? Keep your shoulders square to the table and look at the hand. Number 2, don't let your elbow get you head in front of the hand on Cody. Keep your elbow back into your body. Alright? Because it magnifies the twist of your arm and forms your elbow inside in front of you. Keep that elbow into your body. And last but not least, keep your hand and shoulder together. Don't let yourself leave your hand. Keep your hand and shoulder together. And we're going to do a weekend to try to help out. And if we can, we'll make some adjustments to you while you're arm wrestling. And then it'll push you on your shoulder, we'll ask you to square up, and you square up, and we'll let it go on. If you push on your shoulder, ask you to square up, and you don't move, we'll stop the match as quickly as we can. But things happen fast, and ultimately it's up to you as an arm wrestler to not twist. Okay? Now, where it gets interesting for you guys is you'll see a call out here. And we're like going to get a twist. And you go, wait a minute, how come Planet Orange is up there twisting like that? And you were all over my chicken just a couple matches ago. And I didn't get halfway near anywhere near half part of him. Because look, he's a pro. He knows how far he's going to go. And more importantly, we know that he knows. All right? And so we're getting a recognized approach to more legal with some of these moves. You as a new guy, you don't know how far your arm goes, so maybe you don't go too far. Give yourself some time in this sport before you start pushing those arms. All right? There's a reason for what we do and how we're doing it. All right.
Turn your head around when you walk with the
Yeah, that's a good issue. We're in essential push-up. Awesome. So if you're wearing a hat, take it off or turn it around, please. All right? Your arm has to be take your arm up to your elbow, please.
You can't roll your elbow in. You don't go.
Can't touch either yours or your opponent's hands to your shoulder. All right? There is a rule called the intentional push. And that's where you're intentionally, your only objective is to create a foul on your opponent. So like it's called pushing. Where you're like you're actually deliberately pushing your elbow off that. You can't do that. You'll go to foul on that. You missing anything else?
Did you do the rest of the script? I wasn't listening.
I did do the rest of it. Any questions on the rule before we give this over to Denise and let her